Hi, I'm Kim Stevens here in the Fox 26 studio. October is here now, and fall is here. And for families who have high schoolers, this is a busy time. We could say it's exciting, we could also say it's stressful to start looking into and applying for college. But waiting until a child is already a junior or a senior in high school can add even more pressure for any family trying to figure out how in the world are we going to afford paying for college. Well, Martha Mert is here to help, to bring in some peace and some money saving advice. Martha, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
What do you think about when someone says applying for college? Eek! How do we?
Well, first of all, I say, the time to start thinking about that is when your kids are much younger. Really, because saving, it's a journey and it takes time. And so we always say start early, save often, and we can talk a little bit more about your options there. But the other thing is keep calm. You can figure this out. You've got it, parents.
Yeah, I had a friend who was going through a divorce. She was afraid, and she was not working at the time because she was raising her children.
Yeah.
And she had very little money, went and got a job, and she was able to afford semester by semester putting her daughter through college. So when you say it can be done, boy, are you right. It just takes some, um, well, let's see, planning and, like you said, calmness. But let's go back in time a little bit. If we have younger ones and we really want to start now, like you're suggesting, how do we do that?
Yeah. So right now, actually, it's interesting. I'm at the 529 conference in Orlando right now. It brings together people from all over the country who are trying to get the word out about these great programs. So 529 plans are just a really great tool for families that are saving for education overall. And what a 529 plan is it's a specialized investment account that's was designed specifically for families saving for education. And it offers some great tax advantages. And they are extremely flexible as well. So they're really wonderful tools.
They've gotten more flexible through the years, thank goodness. These are specifically for students who are going to college.
Well, that's what they were originally created for. But as you mentioned, they have gotten more flexible over time. So now some of the additional benefits or some of the additional expenses that you can pay out of a 529 plan and withdraw money tax free for include not only college and grad school and any type of advanced education like that, technical and trade schools, apprenticeship programs are also covered. And we know that more and more people are looking at a variety of options post high school, and they still cost money, right? So having some money set aside gives you those options. And then most recently, the Secure 2.0 Act ushered in the ability to transfer money from a 529 plan, leftover money from a 529 plan to a Roth IRA for the beneficiary. So for people who worry that maybe I'll end up with leftover, probably not. But if you do, what a great way to jumpstart your child's retirement savings too.
That is so darn okay. So you say 529. How does one get one? I mean, do I have to have a whole lot of money and have this huge down payment to put into this? And again, where do I go to start it?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. So the way 529 plans work, you won't always find them at your employer like you do with a 401k. So it takes maybe a little bit more research, right? Every state offers a 529 plan, but you do not have to open your own state's plan. So in California, for example, there's Scholar Share. It's a plan that we rate very highly. We just came out with our annual ratings and it got our top distinction, top of the class. And you can just go, you can come to savingforcollege.com, do research, look at plans, but you can also search for specific plans online and go to their website. And in the case of most of these, what's called direct sold plans, you can open them yourself. You just go to the website, you start the enrollment. They'll ask for some information about you, the account owner, about your beneficiary, and that's it. And in many of these plans, you do not. You can start the plan and open it without even necessarily making your initial deposit. So you can get it open and then, start contributing. We do always suggest to people, set it up for an auto deposit. Then you can you don't have to think about it. Money is going in.
That's a fantastic idea. And little by little then, let's say you were to, put in, or even as a gift for every child's birthday, maybe aunts, uncles, grandparents, or parents could end up putting just a little bit of money into this account and it grows, right?
That's right. So when you open the account, it's going to ask you, it's going to give you a variety of investment options. You're going to select how you want to invest the money. All of the plans now offer what's called an age-based or enrollment date option. And that makes it really easy for parents. You just select the portfolio based on the year you expect your child to start college. And then the investment manager for that plan will be managing that money and shifting it from more aggressive investments to more conservative ones. So, when your child is in high school, you're reducing your risk by being in investments at that point that have less risk and are going to preserve the money that's grown over time in that fund. And I just want to mention, because you brought up gifts, almost all of the plans have a gifting option. And so it is so great how many parents out there need another toy that's going to break in 2 days for their kid, right? So absolutely, you can have family, friends make gifts directly to the 529 plan. And in most cases, you can do that easily online as well.
Now, you said be a little more aggressive or maybe pull back and be a little more conservative as you get closer to the graduation date. I have to say, personal experience, we were pretty aggressive, but then the year 2008 occurred and my son, or that account, diminished severely. He, and did make up, thank goodness, but I think people need to know that there is some risk because this is tied to the stock market, right?
Yeah, and that's right. So these investment options will typically invest in the stock market as well as bonds and some other types of investments. There are options, and especially as I mentioned, how they'll get more conservative as your child nears college age. There are sort of cash options similar to a bank account. There are even FDIC insured options offered in many 529 plans. Now, typically, again, if you're in one of these age-based investment options, the plan will be making those changes to your account automatically at predefined times. But if you are selecting options yourself, then there are always very low risk options available as well.
Okay. From personal experience, Martha, my husband and I and our extended family created 529 plans for both of my sons. And we took care of college for the first 2 years, and they paid for college their last 2 years plus grad school on their own with money they earned working and 529 100%. They didn't have to take out any loans. And how helpful it was. And it was really pretty easy for them to do because we had them do it all on their own because it was important to have that responsibility too. I was impressed to see how easy it was to transfer the money from the 529 into their account so they could pay for tuition.
That's great to hear. And, I love that you brought up also some other options for paying, which, people save a certain amount, but they can also pay out of their current income as a child is in college. The kids work and contribute. I know I did that. I worked throughout college. I bought all my books. I paid for certain expenses, on the ground. And, you come together from these different sources. Sometimes, if you're fortunate, maybe there's a grandparent who wants to help out, or another family member. So there are a variety of options. Of course, student loans are sort of that last resort for many people,
Right.
but there are other options to consider.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I went to the website, savingforcollege.com, and I was impressed with how easy it is to maneuver and understand, because you were just explaining a number of different ways for parents to do this, and it's all very easily stated right there. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I mean, that's really what we're all about. Our website is just there to be a free resource for families and inform them. We're the most in-depth resource on all kinds of questions people have about their 529 plans, from how to get started and how does it work and what can I pay for, to how to make withdrawals. So we've got all of that sort of information, as well as I mentioned the ratings on the different 529 plans too.
Yeah, that's really nice to know the ratings. I do want to say, and I did talk to you a little earlier about this. Last spring, before graduation, I did a story here in Fresno, California, about how California now has created a savings plan, a college savings plan for students, not only for them at birth, but then also as they are aging and going through college and they have a little bit of a nest egg. So I want to remind our viewers that calkids.org is a place to go for that. You can either have a teeny bit of money in a fund for students, or you can have another fund that families can add to it. And it's just another way that the burden of paying for college can be lightened just a little bit, so that students still say, I can still go to college. This one girl, her eyes just lit up and said, I didn't think college was an option for me. And now all of a sudden it became an option because of these ways to save and build money.
That's so fantastic. I love to hear stories like that. And, and the other thing is, when people are shopping for colleges, when you were shopping for a car, you probably do a ton of research. Do a lot of research, not just what your kids have seen or the sports, the college sports they follow. I mean, do research about the different types of schools that are out there, the different price points. There are a lot of things you can do if you're finding that your budget isn't quite enough. There are dual enrollment programs, right, with high schools and colleges. There's community college, which some people start at for 2 years to make the transition more affordable in the last 2 years of a 4-year university. So there are a lot of things. A lot of schools, some schools offer more merit aid. So do your research. Be smart.
Yeah, and even at school, I know my son got a what do you call it, a scholarship at school for the department that he is studying in, and those are it's a little bit of work. Of course, the students need to write an essay and do that, but shoot, there's money out there,
Right.
and it sure is a crying shame if the students don't access it and ask for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Private scholarships, school scholarships, there is money out there. And when you get your financial aid award letter, you can always go back to that school again if you feel you need a little bit more. So yes, you have options.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for helping our viewers save for college and feel like it actually is more doable than maybe first thought or feared. Martha Mert, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.